Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Adjacent with Jace, the tabletop interview review show for the Adventures in Euphoria, brought to you by the Black Tower Stories. My audio is working correctly as far as I know, and joining me today, when left alone, he has shown that he will hone the skill to drone about a plan prone to take others from home, wielding sticks and stone to kill whatever someone has sown. Where this leads is unknown, cause out the window the plan was thrown. So have a listen now for the party's collective groan. Here's Bevo now, not on a phone. Hi Bevo, how's it going?
Hi, my camera's
instantly got blurry. Excellent.
Yeah,
what
I was because I'm not excited
wrong.
for tonight. I'm not excited for tonight. Tonight is gonna be rough.
I'm gonna need you to focus and your camera to focus, please.
Yeah,
there you
there
go.
we go.
Thank you. Thank you.
I've learned. I've learned. I smart goslings.
Goslings, like
Yeah.
was it Ryan Gosling? Is that one of them?
Right, the best gosling there is.
Oh boy. Well, thank you everyone in the chat for coming and watching this, whatever this will wind up being. And thank you, Bevo, for showing up. Well, last second, I had to do a couple of intros, but I got it in time for you. I'm happy about that. We will be going over Chapter 15 of The Adventures in Euphoria, a plan by any other Gorbeck. And if you haven't seen it already, it is live on our YouTube right now, and still live as a VOD on our Twitch. If you have seen it, you might understand why that was the title. Bevo, unfortunately, doesn't quite get the reference, so we had to explain it to him yesterday in the chat. But thank you, chat, again. We have, as you see above us here, I have like the new icons that'll tell like latest follower and subscriber and stuff. I didn't put it on our main stream overlay because I like to piss off Eric. So it's just one way I gotta do that. But thank you for coming. If you have any questions, shoot the Q for whoever, and we'll get those questions curated and set up to ask Bevo or myself anytime. Thank you, Spars. Spars is here for the intro. That's the first time in a while, but thank you. And it was a producer flex. I should find a way to mute Eric's mic like halfway through the stream sometime when he goes droning on about elven ruins. But, Bevo, you are here.
Yeah.
Do you know why you are here?
Unfortunately.
Well, I think I have some questions set up already that I had thought of, just, because. And while we get other questions in. Oh, you see that. Go away. Don't tag me and stuff, moderator, in the other chat. Okay, let's go into one of the questions I set up for you.
Okay.
Let's dive right into it. I would like to know what the original plan was when you made that crazy convoluted idea to go, to the wolf flashers.
So you want to know what the original plan was like to? So I've been trying.
How did you think that was gonna go in your? Well, let's give your original plan before you had to go through all this stuff.
So unfortunately, and I'll say this, I completely forgot that the alarm went off when we were going to bed. Completely forgot. So I was planning all this. What I wanted to do was I wanted to sneak out in the middle of the night.
Oh my god.
But I was going to take Volred with me because I wanted to use his roguelike powers to help me sneak into this camp and hopefully talk to the
Chief?
the goblin warlord, the chieftain, whatever you want to call him, and hopefully try to talk him out of attacking and so on and so forth. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to use all my ability and my charismatic everything to be able to do that, to talk one-on-one with him. Technically, I guess 2-on-1 with Volred there. And so I wanted to steal your potion of strength because goblins are very much like, if they are dominated, like they'll back down. I was hoping to use my magic to help, which, as you saw, kind of helped. But yeah, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to sneak out without you guys knowing. I wanted to steal, but again, I couldn't do that because I forgot about that. Because I remember a lot of things. I don't remember well for myself. I remember well for others, not for myself. So that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to go and I wanted to try to make peace, because I'm a reformed goblin. And that's the word I was trying to find earlier. I'm a reformed goblin, and that's not that's not what happened.
Okay. So yeah, there were several things that were wrong with that plan. That you found out during the stream is that, one, I don't have the potion of strength anymore. I used that way back.
Yep. I thought we got another one for whatever reason. I don't know.
We have another potion. I don't remember what it was. I think it's a climbing one or something, which could come in handy. We could do a lot of climbing.
Wouldn't have helped at this point, but yeah.
You could impress them with your amazing climbing skills.
Listen, I impressed. Yeah.
So that's how you wanted. That was your original plan. It's like, I'm gonna sneak out. So all automatically, bad idea. To sneak out off on your own. Drag Volrid with you. So if that was your plan, you might have suggested that you and Volrid probably had the same sleep schedule.
What I was gonna try to do was I was gonna go wake him up with Caleb and me being at on watch, and have Caleb talk. I'm 99% sure I could have talked Caleb into letting me go, and so, like,
okay.
Yeah.
So your original plan was also kind of bad.
Listen, they're plans, and I think if they work perfectly, they go well. If I'm being completely honest, I think it would be perfect. But Eric,
let's go blame Eric.
I'm gonna blame Eric, because that's what happened is not what I wanted to happen.
Right.
So I made lemon crap out of lemons. That's what I did.
Just add crap. Voila.
It's literally all. Just pee on it.
Shit idea.
That's exactly. Just let's splash some pee on it.
Which happened in the episode.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point.
Boy. We do have a question. We have some questions in from chat. I'm gonna read them real quick because I think they're the same question. But we'll go with the question for Gorbeck. What was the backup plan if suggestion didn't work?
Didn't have one. Did not have one. That's what, at that moment when I jump into the little hut and realize this goblin chieftain is not in there, it was, well, improv time. That is literally what it was. And I said, okay, we're gonna have to do it this way, and I don't like it, but
at least suggestion worked this time.
And I honestly, if he didn't fail, that's what I'm saying. Like, suggestion is reasonable. Now, granted, I think you get a crazy looking goblin come out, and like that makes some weird stuff.
And what's reasonable to a goblin too?
This is what I'm saying is, like, what is reasonable to a goblin? We're gonna go to war. We're already going to war. We're gonna go fight these other guys.
Great.
Okay,
that's a great idea.
Yeah, so I think that's one of those things like that. That's the Rubik's Cube in this, is that okay, well, I don't know how to do this, so just screw it. Like, that's kind of one of
that's where you just dip the whole thing in like paint and like ta-da! Yep. All of them are the same color. I did it. Now.
Yeah, so it was definitely, if suggestion didn't work, yeah, for predictability was gonna have to do a lot of work for me.
I'm surprised that it worked, because in my experience, this shit just never works on my benefit, at least. Usually it's against me in some way. I'm glad it worked, though. Awesome. I am glad it worked.
Well, because that was your thought process for the whole thing.
Hell yeah, war. I wanted to wage them against each other anyway. It's like, this is a great idea. Let them fight each other. Sure. For one, but it doesn't involve me fighting. Hooray. Two, it lowers their numbers. This is great strategy. And then you go and do it. It's like, Got ahead to him. It's a good idea. I'm not going to give him credit for it when we get through this, but it's a good idea.
Yeah, it's yeah. I was very against it, and I'm mad that that's what I leaned into. But it's what I could do.
You were just backseat driver to your own plan, as it was just going.
Because at that point, like literally, like at that point, there was nothing.
Clutch move though, it worked, more or less. Are you upset?
Worked. I don't.
Are you upset that it went that way?
Oh, absolutely, yes. Because that's not how I want. Like I wanted I wanted diplomacy to rule. You can go. I talked to Kilmo before doing all this, and I was like, hey man, how? Like I talked to him. How do I manipulate his alarm? Like, hey, we're close to the goblin thing. We need to put alarm. We need to run. He was like, you should probably be like, we need to do routes around the camp. So that way, like, instead of just sitting and watching, we should do routes around. So that way we can have the alarm let us pass through. So I didn't set the alarm off, trying to sneak off in the middle of the night. Like, how do I do this? Like, what's my intimidation? How does this work? How does this work? Like, legit, I was like, okay, this is the plan. This is what Gorbeck is going to do. And none of it happened. None of it works. No, we didn't do anything. And so...
Well, I try to remain quiet as much as possible. I'm trying to work on not backseat DMing with rule stuff. Unless it's like you have advantage to attack with, I'm all about saying that stuff because I really enjoy the options of getting damaged for some stupid reason. But like for alarm, typically a party member can pass through the alarm with no issue because it's part of the spells. Suggestion was a weird one, so I was wondering how Eric was going to rule it. The issue in my idea wasn't that it has to be reasonable. That's more like a charm person situation. The suggestion is you suggest something that is yes reasonable, but once they complete that task, it's done. Which you said, go to war or whatever it is, the thing that you yelled out.
What it said. See here, this is when with my reading of it, because I get what he's saying. My reading of it was the suggestion must. This is the kind of the caveat, I think. The suggestion must be worded in such a manner, so worded in a way that sounds reasonable, to make the action sound reasonable.
The thing is, but once you say like you should go to war with them, once that's completed, like they go to war, it could technically just end the charm before the 8 hours is up anyway. They don't have to maintain war. It just depends on how they want to redeem it. It's like once the guy yells to war or to war, whatever the hell the guy Eric had them yell, once he says that, technically the spell has completed its task of him declaring war. After that, it could be done. But suggestion, I like suggestion. It's just kind of, it's a good charm. It's also confusing because I've seen it used to tell a barbarian to not put a hole in the fucking ship because he was being an idiot, and it lasted for 8 hours. Like, hey, chill, and he just chilled for 8 hours. Yeah, there's different ways of using it. This was interesting. There's the other question of how did you plan that to go? So I'm gonna phrase this in a way because you did give us your example of what your plan was. With your plan not working, once you got to the village place, invisible and all that, for one, if you fell in one of those traps, I was gonna laugh my ass off because that would be funny. Once you got into the head chief war guy's thing, if he was there, what would have been your next step? Because that's what you're hoping for, I'm thinking.
Yeah, I was hoping to use the invisibility. I was super hyped that he did that. Like I didn't know that he was taking that. That I didn't know. I didn't, because I don't really look at y'all's guys' stuff other than what y'all play in game.
I don't look at anybody's stuff.
Well, that's
anymore.
what I'm saying. That's I like to know. I like to have an idea, not because I want to backseat game and like tell other players to do what other players should do and stuff like that. But merely
shut up.
Just to have an idea of like, oh, what could I do that would be fun with them? You know what I mean? And so like I have fun things that I want to try with Gander just because I like what we talk about in our personal stuff. But once I drop in, I want to use like, okay, I'm going to use my performing ability as a bard and, use my goblin to wake up the guy or have him be in there, whatever the case is, and just use my invisibility and speak words and stuff like that, because goblins are very they listen to their gods.
They're susceptible.
Oh yeah, they're susceptible to things like that. And so that's kind of one of those things, is that I wanted to manipulate him in that. And then, okay, Gorbeck's uninvisible, and now I look, like I wanted to like literally use the rags and everything to like, that was part of the thing too. Like if all crap went bad, like, okay, I'll deceptively look like one of them, but I want to use the fact that I look like a different goblin, like that I'm purple and green, like, and they're orange. Like, I want to look like a different goblin. I want to look like a nilbog. Like, that's what I wanted. That was the whole thought process behind that, is that, okay, once I get this chieftain to kind of believe what I'm saying, then poof, all right, I'm magically standing in the middle of your room, and like, you follow me now. You listen to what I say. So manipulated for a good purpose, like for a good cause, I guess, would be kind of that thought process. Like, I wanted it to be diplomatic. That's
okay.
What I wanted it to be.
So you properly diplomatic your way there. You appear in your nilbog or whatever to them, and he agrees with you and is on your side. What's the next step?
Next, hey, help us get to them, because sometimes killing evil is evil, but it's good. Like, we take out the bad to help to make the good. That makes sense?
Mm-hmm. Hey,
so
basically, kind of my idea. Cool. Your idea was to get them to fight them. Only
what? No, not fight. Just tell
take them out.
Him out. The one, the big dog, the top dog. Okay. That's all I wanted. I don't want to kill anybody. I'm okay with killing people, but I don't want to kill anybody. I want to teach that goblins that order is okay. So I've taken I took tons of freaking. Where's my notes? Where are my notes? Yes, I've taken tons of notes. So,
oh boy,
hang on.
Well, while he looks for notes, I will now present a adjacent with Jace stat line for the last session. The stat is Gorbeck took 52 points of damage in that combat of never-ending onslaught of wolves. Just to let everyone know, 52. Boy, yeah, that's a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Get your notes? Get your notes yet?
I do. I have my notes. Leave me alone. Quit telling me all those numbers. Okay, so there is a. Where is it at? Here it is.
Thank you, Tater, for the 52. Good numbers.
52.
You'll say that, but you won't say 22.
Listen, I told you my problem with that one. So
basically,
there's a god that has there's the pantheon. So there's one for goblinoids, so like little itty bitty goblins. There's one for hobs, and there's one for the bugbears. And so
bugbears.
The bugbears, I believe it's the bugbears. No, it's the hobgoblins. Is Bargrivyek, Bargrivyek. A little knowledge for you here. He's called the Peacekeeper, and so Magubliet, which is the number one, like he's the one that rules over everybody, the conquering god, the money one, the high chieftain. He is that like lawful order, or lawful evil is what they believe in. So they believe, which is why they form their host, which is bugbears, hobgoblins, and goblins all coming together. They believe like, okay, we can work together for a common good to murder. That's pretty much what it is. It's like there's a caste system that goes within that, but it's to kill the people that we don't like. Normally it's orcs, not normally humans, but orcs are kind of their big bad that they hate. And so that's one of the big things, which I agree with the caste. I think there should be order. The problem is all the murdering. That's what Gorbeck is trying to get rid of, because he doesn't think that you need to murder everybody to make good things happen. And so I would do the best I possibly could with the wolf lashers to be able to make them communicate well and learn that, hey, we don't have to murder and kill. We can still have order, but we don't have to murder and kill. That's what Gorbeck wants to do.
Like, what if you're really good at it?
I respect that very, very much. And again, sometimes I think murder and death are good because I think we'd have to do that to stop the hobgoblins. So, yeah.
Well, in my experience with hobgoblins, they tend to murder the party pretty effectively.
Sure. But again, if I get as much information as I can out of wolf lashers, if this worked in the way that I wanted it to work, then hey, we sneak in here, we take out the guy, we let Volred do his thing, and then we just run back and say, oh, look at us. And then I could stick around and talk to everybody and say, hey, listen, I'll be your leader now. We don't kill things anymore.
Great plan.
It's sure.
This is definitely a Gorbeck plan. Like, there's nothing could possibly go wrong. Instantly, something goes wrong.
Yep.
Perfect.
It's a perfect plan until
it involves random rolling to see if it works.
Yep.
So saying no plan survives interaction with the party.
Yeah.
Well, let's go on to another bit of a question here. Let's see. Do you think that Caleb is mad that you kind of started the war?
I would. So the relationship Caleb and I have, I would say no. He might be angry at the situation, and he might be angry at what has happened. Potentially, I don't know, because again, we didn't really talk about it that much. I think what would happen is, again, he would be frustrated at the situation potentially, but he would have a conversation with me and say, WTF, mate, what happened? Why? Like, you should have thought this through more, whatever the case is. And I would basically, I don't want to give too much, because what I'm going to argue or how I'm going to argue, but we would have a conversation about it. And because basically everything up to this point has been, Gorbeck, there's better ways to do this. There's better ways to do what you're doing. Like, ask permission, say you're sorry, don't steal, stop biting things, stuff like that.
Stop that one.
So those are the things that we would have that conversation. So do I think Kalen would be mad at me? No. Until he found out the reasons behind what I was doing, and then he would make that decision of whether or not wow, Gorbeck, you really screwed the pooch on this, or hey, that's valid. It went the wrong way. And so, again, I don't think he'd be mad at me. I don't think he will be mad at me. I think we're gonna have to make lemon crap into actual lemonade. So, yeah.
Okay, follow-up question. Do you think any of the party members are probably mad at you?
Yes.
Who?
But that's merely who?
I want numbers.
Yeah.
I want people. Give me names.
I mean, Arthur, but that's just because I think Arthur's always going to be mad at me. He did say he appreciated me, which I appreciate that he said he appreciated me. But I also I don't know what his thought process on it was, because you guys had walked away. Y'all obviously didn't think this was a great idea. I think Exal is going to be excited because well, hey, that's what I wanted in the first place. And I'm going to be disappointed at that. What I'm saying is I'm disappointed that war, I just went back to my old ways, my old goblin ways. I think
A
Gander will
little bit
probably.
of goblin's okay though. Don't go
No!
full normie.
Listen. No, you can't say that because every time I try to go a little bit of goblin, you yank me off a cliff.
This was a good little bit of goblin. This was you're using your chaotic instincts to solve a problem, not your chaotic instincts to jump off a cliff. One has a direct involvement of gravity. The other one just involves the gravity of the situation.
Yes, the gravity is black hole-esque. I think maybe. I think Gander's going to be mad just because Gander doesn't want to go to war. Like this guy barely wants to be in an adventuring party. Like I'm sure he doesn't want to go into war. But we'll see. I'll talk fun stuff to him. I don't think Volred will care that much. Merely from the fact that I think Volred is very fly by the seat of his pants, and the most not fly by the seat of his pants way possible. And yeah, I think, like I said, I think you'll be all right with it. I think Kalen will be frustrated at the moment at the situation, but he'll have a conversation with me and we'll figure it out, and he'll be okay. So, yeah.
I mean, I felt great about the situation, but Izal is very does not want to give you kind of a praise about you doing this because it was a terrible idea, but is also like, hey, cool, this is kind of the best situation. So yeah,
I don't like it, but I'm you whatever pair of pants you put on that day, that's what you wear. All right, that's what this is. So
you put on the red pants. Very nice.
This is as crimson as it gets.
All right, on to another stat/question. For most people who realize what happened at the party, we ran into another small creature in need. My question for Bevo is, what is the name of this small creature?
Ziggle? Z-I-G-L? Ziggle?
That is correct. Ziggle, the short ear goblin, was it? That was the name of their...
The short ear clan?
Short ear goblin. And if you didn't watch the stream, you might not have seen it, but there was some amazing art done by one amazing Britmix Studios, which I will show right now. There he is in all his little glory. This means that our DM asked our artist to draw this well before planning. So yeah, that is Ziggle, or Ziggy, as I called him once because the chat liked the name Ziggy, and so did I. Yep. Good old small ear Ziggy. Ziggy Stardust.
Oh, yeah, I even took wait, I was
I'm
so
looking
mad.
At the chat right now. The DM did not plan the art ahead. Ooh. So Brittany drew that. Britmix Studios drew that the session that it happened. Like, wow, that was impressive. Once again, proving so much that Britmix Studios is an amazing artist. Not to leave anything out of the amazing work of one Necromantula artist of Rick, who is also one of our moderators. I had to throw that. I love the Necromantula picture.
Do it. Necromantulas.
Oh no. Necromantulas. I know. I hate being right. Let's go on to another question. Question for Izal. How does Izal feel that Gorbeck's terrible plan was also her terrible plan? For one, my plan was not terrible. My plan was to do what Gorbeck said. Mine would have been more upfront, and so everyone knew what the plan was, not Gorbeck going off and doing a crazy idea that he himself didn't know what was going to happen. So my plan was concrete. It was solid, rock solid, like the dwarves, in stone. This is the plan. This is what we're going to go with. And something bad happens. Looks like we're fighting. Gorbeck fell into that plan. So, I mean, my plan was a good idea.
We'll never know. We'll know eventually.
Ziggle filling the Mizak-shaped hole in my heart.
That I absolutely feel. That's why I'm saying, like, I know.
when he started talking and you were talking to him, I was like, do not adopt another small creature, you asshole. No.
Well, that's what my thought process was. So we're gonna break the fourth wall here. Freaking Kilmo messaged me. He said, "You better free him."
What? Fuck you, Kilmo. No, because it's not your guys' characters that deal with this shit. It's Arthur and me.
Yeah,
we're the ones who take care of all these.
Yeah,
kids.
he goes. Let's see, where is it? He's like, free him, effing do it.
Team Mizek or Team Ziggle? Well, we just met Ziggle. We know he has a family, so we might learn just to hate Ziggle. So hopefully, Mizek comes out of like a mountain and kills Ziggle. He's like, "You will not replace me."
With his spear.
Shit.
This murderous spear that he's killed several people with already.
Very effective. Not if Gorbeck gets them all killed.
Wow, touche. Jesus.
That's from the comments from Eric. Boy.
It was one of those things that I was not in a nice mood because I was disappointed in myself. Gorbeck was disappointed in himself. And then he realized, like, he turned, like, not Booyag and was like, okay, I guess maybe we should be nice. This is what a nice person would do. And so.
Booyah!
Eric.
He got all those from, like, was it Warhammer 40k is what everyone was saying?
No, Booyag is... The Wog is,
Wog.
yes. That's a 40k, or not 40k, but 40k and Warhammer thing.
Wog.
But the Booyag is definitely a D&D thing, like straight up, like that's a magic using goblin. So
you know the goblin stuff. Almost.
Yeah.
We're all just kind of making fun of it in the Discord.
Yeah.
Wow. It reminds me of Wario and Waluigi.
So, but yeah, it was definitely a nice Gorbeck decision that almost didn't happen because I legitimately was disappointed in myself.
I said it. I literally said it on the stream. It's like, do not fucking adopt another kid. But let's go on to another stat from the previous episode. Arthur dealt 29 points of damage in all the combat that we did, putting him up there pretty high up there. But also on a side note, Arthur healed 19 points of damage to one particular Gorbeck.
Yes, yep. That was definitely... I don't know if Eric just had it out for me. I really don't know what the frick was problem there. And if... If Art wasn't there, I would have been up the creek.
The cheer from Tater again, 19.
Yep.
Good number.
I
I only started keeping track of the healing because Ari wanted me to.
Well, it's if you've got Gorbeck with you, it's a good stat to keep track of. Yeah. As long as we're not in combat, obviously. But I guess this time.
That's what I was really worried about, is because you were going off to do a plan that wasn't in combat. Therefore, your risk of dying was skyrocketed.
The beer.
It's like, but man, you went unconscious twice in that last fight. That's nothing compared to a non-combat situation.
Double black diamond going on there.
Going to double down on that double down. So,
I mean, I'm glad that y'all are doing damage. That was nice. I just felt like I was the chew toy of the group, so I'm glad y'all got your...
Well, this was another fine experiment where everyone got to see the joys of a Eric mob campaign fight, where you never know when the enemies stop. They just kind of keep coming. At one point, we forgot about the goblins. It was just about the wolves. The goblins were just kind of there.
Yep. How many was it? 6 dogs? Was it 6 dogs?
I think it was 6.
Because you killed. So, go ahead.
If I go by I know one popped up by Caleb again because he can't seem to stop himself from getting just surrounded by shit.
That's because I think it was 6 dogs. Because whenever you had popped the first one, I was like, oh shoot, this will be easy. Like, I'm okay. And legit, this is what my legit thought process was. It was like, all right, I'm gonna try to do some crazy stuff because again, it was the goblin in me that wanted to do this and stuff like that, and try to have a dog of my own. But then there's another dog. Oh, now there's another dog. Oh God, there's another dog. Yeah, so it definitely it went it leapt. But that's part of Eric.
They were all attacking you though.
That's the saying. Like Caleb just happened to be up the creek, which I think he should always just expect it. It's so.
He should be by.
Leave him alone,
the
Eric.
entire
Leave
time.
him alone. Leave him alone. Attack someone else. Piss somebody else off. I'm just saying you don't piss Caleb off. I'm kidding.
Caleb needs a combat buddy.
Yep.
Probably is gonna wind up being Gander.
Which is not good. Those two, they're both
nerds over there. They'll solve the problems.
Well, don't worry, guys. We'll get it. Let me get my sleep spell prepared.
I was right up there in combat. I got attacked twice.
No,
I got attacked the butt.
Did you?
Actually, I got.
Did
hit.
you?
I got hit 3 times, I think total.
I'm
genuinely
surprised that he didn't sick that other dog whenever Volred came up. I'm so genuinely surprised he didn't sick that dog after me.
It's like, well, Volred showed up, but Gorbeck's on the ground.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Let's attack Gorbeck some more.
It's like, yeah.
So use all the resources. Like, how many heal? Oh, he's got key points for healing. Okay, they have how many potions and spells? All right, let's just keep attacking Gorbeck.
Yep.
But I mean, I could one-shot the dogs now, so. Whack!
Yeah.
You're dead. Whack! You're
just
dead.
Throw more dogs at Adam. I don't know. And I feel weird casting a spell on a dog. I don't ever want to cast a spell on a dog.
Cast Charm Animal. Or Animal Friendship. I think Charm Animal's not a spell. Animal Friendship is a spell.
I'm talking like Vicious Mockery or Hideous Laughter.
You could insult the dog.
Like, you're a father, you're a mutt.
You son of a bitch.
Exactly. Like,
it just that doesn't. Quick wit. Oh, dominate monster. It seems a bit excessive for a wolf.
Yeah. I don't know.
In other editions, they had specific little niche spells for it.
I'm a little butthurt that what's his face killed Volred. Why do I keep saying what's his face? Volred killed my dog.
You're thinking of his actual name? And he's like, I don't remember it. Let's go with Volred.
No, I know his actual name, but that's what I'm saying. I just yeah, definitely butthurt about that. So.
BTS Volred. I haven't seen that one in a while.
Yeah. Well, because y'all didn't get to do it. I legitimately felt bad. Like none of y'all got to really do anything last campaign.
Oh, we were watching. We were just watching that train wreck happen.
I hope you liked the train wreck. I felt very like I could use my pro wrestling skills in that situation. Like I hope you enjoy. I hope it was enjoyable.
Sit back, have a drink, eat a snack.
Yep. Just
mute your mic and watch the train wreck. Everyone likes watching an accident. That's why they show traffic.
It wasn't a wreck. It just wasn't. It was a UFC fight. That's what
it's like those compilation videos of near misses for like vehicles. Like shit, anxiety the whole time. Like, is this when Gorbeck fucks up and gets killed? Who knows?
Yeah, I was anxious the whole time. Like that's the thing. And I legitimately forgot about the horn at the beginning. That was not something that I had planned. Like that was, again, all of that was freaking fly by the seat of my pants because I'm thinking like, okay, what would a goblin warlord do? Like, let's have it go. And then I'm like, when y'all started talking about it, it's like,
oh, I guess he died. Here you go.
I was like, no. So, yeah. So, yeah, it is what it is. And, yeah. So great. I'm glad y'all did good in damage. Y'all got to fight. Never mind. I don't feel that bad anymore. Y'all got.
We fought. That's all we got our fill in.
Y'all fought.
I got another stat in here I'll throw out before I ask you a question about something unrelated to the last session. Izal did 56 points of damage because I wanted to put that out there.
Yep,
one of them was a hit that did 19 points of damage without being a crit. So I was happy about that. Volred did 32 points of damage and only did three hits. So Volred again, just doing those big hits like a paladin and a rogue should do. And Gorbeck fell unconscious twice in one combat, bringing the total to 4. So once out of combat, 3 times in combat now.
I gotta get those are puny numbers. I gotta get those numbers up.
Don't pump those numbers up.
I gotta pump those numbers, baby.
Pump up like your AC or something, or your HP. That's the number you need to pump up.
It's all. I need to go. I need to be dead more often.
Dude, don't cheer for it. Like, don't cheer for this. That's bad. I have a question for you about the one shot we ran, the House Delgin. Since everyone's been on here a few times, I want to ask that a little bit. So, your character Sherry, named after the alcohol or just something else?
Actually, a coworker.
Did you name it after a male or female coworker?
Female. I just thought it was cool. I thought it was a.
What accent were you trying to do for Sherry? Because it changed.
It changed way too much. Like, I am a mimicker. That is the problem I have. I am a mimicker. So if I'm by myself, I can do voices all day long. But when I hear other voices and things like that, it makes me want to use those voices. And it's really frustrating for me. Like, I hate it. Like, I had to practice a lot. And even though I practiced, like, was trying to make this, like, Londoner Cockney accent that talk like this. And that's what I wanted to kind of be.
It turned a bit Australian.
And it went very Australian. And then I had this freaking Scottish moment that it was not a part. It was a part of it, but it was not a part because I just was so mad that, like, that's where my voice was going. Like, there was at times when I don't know if you watch the stream, I lift my mic up and I'm like trying to get my brain in the right, like, voice. Like, I'm talking to myself. I know you couldn't hear that, but I'm talking to myself. Oh, okay, good. But that was one of those things. Like, I was just trying to find that dang voice.
Bloody hell.
So, blimey, all right. And I just was trying to, like, right out, like, my intro, I was like, okay, that's great. We're keeping it there all night.
You nailed the initial hit, but it degraded as it went on. And at one point, it completely went away, which is very fun to watch. That's like, I do accents that I try to do for, like, long campaigns. Do an accent you're not comfortable with. That way, by the end of it, you're really good at doing it.
Yeah, that's it. And this is why I like Gorbeck, because hopefully you'll see. I'm good at lots of different accents. I can do lots of different accents. I think they're fun. But again, sustaining them for very long times is very difficult for me if somebody else is doing an accent, because again, I'm a mimicker. And so that's why I wanted Gorbeck to kind of be like that, because, okay, we're gonna mold into this shape that Eric's gonna mold his character in. His NPC is gonna be this. All right, well, Gorbeck's gonna fit that, so that way that NPC feels more comfortable, and we'll see.
In reality, it's because you're a mimicker and you are not able to control when you do that. It's very difficult. Part of the character now.
It's very difficult for me. So someday I'll be good at it, maybe. So.
I remember I still have the recordings of when we did the first session for the previous campaign. I was like, man, I sounded awful. That was terrible. It was high pitched. It sounded like a teenager who had Parkinson's or something. It was bad.
I mean, it's voices are great and voices are fun because it makes things fun. It adds character to your character.
It helps you get in character, I feel.
Yeah, it changes your mindset. Like, you're sitting at your house and whatever the case is, so everything is normal for you where you're sitting, but, like, it's flipping a switch to say, all right, I'm becoming this person. I want to become, not in like a method acting way, but, like, that's what you need to do if you're going to try to act.
It is kind of a method acting way. You have to have an on switch. So luckily for us, we're on camera now, so that can be a way of tricking the minds, like, time to perform in a certain way, unless you're Kilmo and you're just Kilmo.
Hey, I think Kilmo performs Kilmo fantastically.
He introduced himself as Oblick temporarily for that one time. I was like, what's right? That's the part where, like, having a voice might have helped, because he wouldn't have just immediately went into Oblick. But yeah, he did that introduction so many times last campaign that it was just natural reflex when you got panicked. It's like, I'm Oblick. What? No, you're not. Yeah,
Tater, it reminds me of the that one TikTok. I got one voice, and that's it. Stupid TikTok. So yeah, it was a try that went okay. Could have been better. It'll always be better, but it was fun. I enjoyed it. And I enjoyed the one shot as well, Aaron.
The one shot was fun.
Bravo. It was very cool.
Like that you were the one character who was... you were out of place based off of what everyone else picked, but in the end, your character functioned the exact same way as every other character did. High mobility, could see in the dark. Like, well, everyone just has the same abilities now. It's like, we're not weird. He's just Australian.
I tried this. So, and this, again, I'm horrible at doing things for myself. I literally thought we were stealing something. Literally, that's what I thought we were doing.
I didn't know what we were doing the entire time.
And that's why I went as rogue as possible. Like, all right, we're going to do this. I'm going to get these dang goggles on so I can see in the dark. Like, it's going to be, like, great. Like, no, he's not going to be, I'm going to be unstoppable. And freaking A, man.
Like, everyone was just weird.
I mean, it was different. It's just very different.
It was very entertaining, though. I didn't take any stats during that one. I didn't care. They didn't matter. I wasn't paying attention to that. I was paying attention to myself and how to come up with B facts. So on to another question. Question for both. If Eric did a non-D&D one-shot, what game would you want to play?
Oh, gee, there's too many.
I would go with one. For one, I haven't played a lot of games. When I do, it's usually with Eric and you guys when you do the board games. I kind of suck, as I've proven time and time again in any board game. But I would go with the one popular ones, like Vampire the Masquerade is a popular one. Isn't there like a werewolf one too?
I think you can play werewolves in Vampire, I think.
Either way, one of them.
There's a subsect of it in there.
I don't want to play a normal person. I don't want to do Call of Cthulhu because I wouldn't want to do that first. I understand it's fairly hard and very difficult, so I don't want to play. I want to play like a different one that has a chance of being more fun for me. So,
yeah. This is the thing. Like, I love so many different genres. It's pathetic how many different genres I like. Like Vampire the Masquerade would be fantastic because I have characters thought up for that one already because I dig vampires and werewolves. I have a werewolf character thought up because I just, again, dig vampires and werewolves. Deadlands, I think, is one. Like, Eric just bought that one. It's a Wild Wild West one. And I effing love Wild Wild West because it's just much fun. I'm
going to vote Deadlands then because I forgot about that game. I was like, I want to play that. That's not fun.
Yeah. Like, it's like so, like, I'll be a Huckleberry. Like, oh man, like Doc Holliday and all that. Tombstone is so awesome. Deadlands. Is that what I said? Deadlands?
I think you said Deadlands.
Deadlands. Fate is fantastic. The reason I love Fate is because
system.
Yes. Well, but it's so loose. It fits me. I think just because I can do whatever I want technically, and as long as I pass my fate scores, like, it works. And that's the way I play. That's the way I want to play. That's the way I like to play. Like, I can understand if you tell me I fail, but like, that's like, I enjoy that.
Fate Grand Order Unlimited Blade Works.
There's one that I'm so jealous that I didn't get to play forever ago, and it was a Palladium game. Palladium's good, like a D percentile, and it's interesting. But they have a bunch of different ones. I would love to do the superhero Palladium. I would love to do it's Palladium.
Palladium's a system too.
The Palladium's a system too. But they have a superhero one. They did one where they did robots that I didn't get to play, and somebody out Bevo'd me, and it made me really sad. Like, very sad. Like, literally, he did everything and it succeeded, which is not usually the case for me. Then they did like a superhero one with mice, and that one was a ton of fun, but you can kind of make your own thing. I mean, literally, there's tons of things. I could do a steampunk one. I could play anything and everything. Like, I would love like a Fifth Element, like, land. That would be fun in Fate. If we did the Fifth Element, that would be dope. I just love role playing. Like, role playing's fun. So, like,
so you're up for anything. Gotcha.
Like, let's, like, guns blazing. Let me learn what I need to learn and create a character with as much flair as I possibly can.
Let's see. I'm trying to read my. Oh, okay. Here's my question. Are you happy bringing it back to it. Are you happy that we left you alone to go do your own plan for once, instead of trying to tell you no?
No, that's a loaded question, because if I say yes, then I'm a lonely boy and stupid. But if I say yes, if I say no, and I didn't like it because I felt like you guys didn't care. And that's what sucked. I want you guys to care about me. I want you to love me. I want you to be so excited for me and like love my ideas. But I know that's not going to be the case. But also, I'm glad that you let me do it. I feel like maybe I'm disappointed in what happened. But I didn't want to go alone. I wanted to take Volred with me because I felt like I want to get attached to Volred, because for whatever reason, Volred finds me entertaining. And I want to entertain him because I'm a whore for entertainment, for like claps and cheers. And so I want him to want me, and then not like, yeah.
This wasn't clipped out of context, that's for sure.
It just definitely was one of those things where I would have enjoyed
him to want me.
I wanted him to join me because I felt like it would have been a good bonding experience. And he would have been entertained by what I did, and we could have bonded more. So I just...
But you didn't ask for him to come with you during the daytime.
Because that was not the plan. That wasn't the plan.
Okay.
That wasn't the plan.
So, like, we did care about you. We didn't want you to go.
I'll bet you a gold that you will die. I will bet you a gold he never comes back.
Because your plan got crazier and crazier. I bet a gold eventually that you would come back, because I did care about you. Also, Arthur bet a gold that you weren't going to come back, so I had to go the opposite. And I was only going to do like what, 5 copper or something. I wasn't going to bet a lot.
It wasn't. It was. I bet he dies. I bet he just never comes back. That's what it was. It wasn't, I hope you come back. It was, I bet he dies. I bet he just never comes back.
The point is, you came back, and I got money out of it. So.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm happy with what happened. I love playing this game. I wish it wouldn't have happened the way it happened. And that's just being honest. But it is what it is. I'm not gonna I'm going to play the game still, and I'm going to make the best out of whatever happens, because that's D&D for you. That's just, this has happened way too many times in Eric's games, to be completely honest. Like the way, well, in role-playing games in general, like where I think, man, it should happen this way. I'm going to do it this way, and it's going to be perfect. And like the scene that I set for myself, doesn't get laid out in that way, and so I have to step, which is the same thing with any role-playing game or anything like that. Like a DM can set a plan, but your players can go do what they want. And so it is what it is. It's just, it wasn't perfect. By God, it was not perfect, and it was ugly, and thank God that the rolls were like the rolls happened correctly. So I don't know. It was fun. It was a blast.
I mean, if you go by Eric's last campaign, I was in there. I made plans for every single thing that we did. None of them worked. None of it, because everything was different. It all changed in the middle of the thing. Like, so, but I still made the plans. Like, just in case it goes the way I want it to, I'll have a plan set up for it. But it never fucking did. I was one of those people who had like a bunch of scrolls left over from at the end of the campaign, because I never used them. Like, oh damn, I'm one of those people.
Yep.
Just in case I'll get this one.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I want to be one of those people that blows everything and uses all their spell slots the way that they should. And like, oh, I'm going to start playing it this way. I'm going to start doing it this way. It just, I don't know. It's one of those things. I wish it was that way. I wish everybody gets it. But I think Eric does a good job of communicating with us. So like, I should have communicated with him more than what I did on like the idea for this. I should have done that. That's what I should have done.
Yeah, like during the time, like, hey, just let you know, this is kind of what I'm thinking I want to do. And then for one, either Eric could just make a completely different idea. It's like, that's hilarious. That's not going to happen. Here's my idea to counteract that. or he's like, oh, cool, maybe I'll put
that's-
some stuff in there to fix that.
But that's what I talked to him on Saturday about, was the fact that I didn't want to give him everything because I don't want him to do that. Does that make sense? Like I don't want him to know what I want to do, because I want to let the storytellers be us, not, oh, I need to make this so that way it's a good story. No, we should be making the story. We should be making things fun. And Eric, in the nicest way I want to say possible, freaking figure it out, you bum. Like, like we lead this story and you do an amazing job of doing what you do, and I appreciate it every single day.
Same person who puts the part where, like, it's not my job to know what my spells do. That's the DM's job. I'm a player.
I'm a player character. Yeah, that's right. So, but
that's
again,
hilarious.
It's
Make a dexterity saving throw.
it's just one of those things. Like, I love what Eric does. I should have given him more of what my thought process was, but also, I mean, I'm sure Gander did too, and Gander got told, nope, screw you, little man, and now he's trying to figure his life out. So that's
Shit
what I'm saying.
in his bed.
So that is what it is. So
there's a question. There's a part in there about canonically Star Wars and ET are in the same universe. I believe ET, or the alien that is ET, shows up in the background of one of the Star Wars videos.
it's probably an accident.
It's in the Senate scene. In the Senate, where all the different races are there for the different planets, ET is in one of the Senate seats.
Oh,
So,
well, that's pretty neat. Good for
whether
them.
that means they're canon, who knows? But it is by Steven Spielberg, so who knows?
Who knows?
All right, we are near the end, so we're going to go with the question that is, as we're near the end of the stream, can you give me a D percentile roll, Bevo?
A D percentile? What do you
That
mean?
is the one. That's the 2d10s,
I
and
know
one
what that
counts
is.
as the 100. It's got all the weird extra numbers on it.
Yeah, I know. But why am I rolling a D percentile?
It's a question from Tater. He loves this one.
Okay, all right. 64%.
64. What is that in Goblin?
64? No. 64 in Spanish.
64.
60, that's it. 64.
All right. And for the final question, with the Deadpool coming very high, as Gorbeck's clearly in the lead of it, since you can't vote for yourself, as that is the rule, who do you vote for the first person to possibly die?
Always Caleb. It will, for every time I'm on here, it is always effing Caleb, because Eric hates Caleb. Eric hates Kilmo with everything inside of him. He hates him. He hates him. He wants him to kill him because he ruins his campaigns.
It's true.
He makes it hard.
I've talked with Eric plenty of times. You got to kill him
So-
when he's at low level before he becomes immortal.
Yeah.
All
It's
right,
just,
so Caleb is voted for that one by Gorbeck and Bevo.
I love you, Caleb. You know I love you. Just Eric doesn't love you. That's all.
Hey, yeah, hey, maybe I'll get it. Maybe I'll die first and prove you all wrong. But anyway, thank you again, Bevo, for coming on. I'm glad your schedule cleared up near the very end of it, so I could give you the proper introduction. I always enjoy you having you on here. And we've had, was this 2 in a row where the internet and everything hasn't gone to shit?
I know it's like we actually do like we're kind of okay at this now.
Thunderstorms in the distance, you say. All right. But thank you, chat, for coming in as well and asking all the questions that Bevo refuses to answer with a straight face as he just comes up with a crazy idea. Thank you for the moderators for filing in those questions and for occasionally getting me stats. Thank you, Britmix Studios, again, for the amazing art that you pump out at amazing rates. If you haven't already, follow our Facebook and our Twitter and our YouTube to get all types of information. We'll try to pump out more content on our Facebook if we can, and our YouTube and our Twitch eventually. If you haven't already, follow us on the Twitter, Twitch thing. I don't know. If you would like to subscribe, just go ahead. I'm not going to judge you if you don't. You just get a couple good emotes. But I am Jace. This is Bevo, and we hope you all have an amazing night. And please stay safe, as we will see you next Tuesday. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone. Goodbye.
Walking hand in hand on the ocean floor, down deep we wonder. Louder we sing, no there is no cure.